Be me, 41, ex-trucker, drove coast to coast for 15 years, slept in more parking lots than beds, ate more gas station burritos than vegetables, could parallel park a rig blindfolded but couldn't remember birthdays, burned out 2 years ago, stopped on a snowy highway outside Denver and just couldn't keep going, called dispatcher, said I'm done, left the truck at a rest stop and flew home, no plan, no backup, just done. Moved into a small cabin I inherited from my uncle, middle of nowhere, trees, silence, nobody knocking, just what I needed. Worked odd jobs, firewood delivery, fixing fences, towing locals out of ditches. Enough to live, not enough to matter. Fine by me, no friends nearby, don't talk to family much. Used to the quiet. Radio static feels like home. People ask why I look so serious. I'm not serious, just out of words. Then one day she shows up, flat tire on an old Jeep, halfway down the gravel road to nowhere. I happen to be passing by in my beater pickup. Pull over, offer help. She doesn't freak out. Just nods and says, "Jack's in the back." Respect. Change the tire. Notice she's got art supplies in the back seat. Canvas, charcoal, all that messy stuff. She says she's out here to draw trees until her brain shuts up. I get that more than I should. Don't say it, just grunt, nod. She smiles, like that's enough. Next week she knocks on my door. Don't ask how she found me. Says she made extra soup. Hands me a thermos. Says, "Thanks for helping. Thought you might like warmth that isn't engine heat." That line sticks with me for some reason. We don't talk much at first. She draws, I chop wood. Sometimes she brings coffee. Sometimes I fix her Jeep again. Starts leaving sketches on my porch. Drawings of trees, my dog, my boots. One of me chopping wood. I pretend not to care. Keep them all in a drawer. One night she asks if I ever miss the road. Say no. But I do. Not the driving, not the miles. Just the feeling of going somewhere. She nods like she knew that already. Says, "Maybe this place is where people come to stop pretending." Damn, she gets it. Weeks pass. We settle into a rhythm. She paints by the lake. I fix things and try not to look like I'm watching her. Eventually, I invite her in for dinner. Burn the fish. She laughs like it's the best meal she's ever had. Says, "You've got charm buried under all that flannel and diesel." I say, "Don't dig too deep. Might hit something dangerous." She smirks. "Good, I like dangerous." I pretend not to choke on my beer. She starts sleeping over. Not always in the bed at first. Sometimes just passes out on the couch after wine and dumb conversations. Talks about dreams she had, colors she can't paint yet. I listen, really listen. No one ever cared about her art this way, she says. I tell her I care about the quiet it brings. She calls that the most romantic thing I've ever heard. Months pass. One morning I wake up and she's feeding my dog like she's always been here, wearing my hoodie, hair a mess, coffee in one hand, brush in the other. She doesn't say anything. Neither do I. Just watch her exist and feel something I thought I lost on mile marker 1027. I don't propose with a ring. I build her a studio, out back with a skylight and wood stove. Leave a note inside. Stay long enough to fill this with noise. She cries, calls me a bastard, says yes anyway. Off the road, off the grid, out of excuses. But I've got a woman who paints my silence into something worth looking at, and for the first time in a decade. I'm going somewhere again, even if it's just across the porch. 43 now. Married? Yeah, that happened. No tux, no music, just us in boots behind a courthouse. She wore black. I wore the same shirt I met her in. Felt right. 2 years in the same cabin. Added insulation, fixed the roof, built her an actual sink in the studio. She said, "Holy shit, plumbing, marriage suits you." I said, "Careful, I might install a second toilet next." She said, "Kinky." Love that woman. First winter together hit hard. Trees frozen solid, pipes moaning like ghosts. One night, power went out. -15 outside. We lit the stove, dragged the mattress to the living room, wrapped in every blanket we owned. She laughed so hard she snorted. "Romance, baby, survival edition." Dog curled up at our feet like a living space heater. Somehow felt like luxury. She paints like a maniac. Leaves brushes in the sink, coffee cups on my tools. Once found a canvas propped up on the toilet seat. Captioned, "The Throne of Creative Crisis." I don't even question it anymore. I just fix what's broken, carry what's heavy, stay close. That's the deal. I'm softer now, I think. Quiet, tired, but not hollow. She'll come stand behind me while I'm working. Slide her arms under mine. Just stay there. Nothing said, like she's grounding me without even trying. We don't say I love you much. She says it in soup. I say it in firewood stacked by the door. She paints me once. Doesn't show me until weeks later. Me, back turned, standing in the snow with a lantern. Title, The Man Who Stayed. I stare at it too long. She says, "You like it?" I say no, then I needed it. Not everything's perfect. Sometimes we fight like thunder. She throws words like knives. I go cold, say nothing. We learn to meet in the middle. She yells less, I shut down slower. We always circle back. Always. She asked once if I regret quitting the road. Told her I don't. She said, "Not even the silence?" I looked at her studio window, candle burning, brushes in a jar, her silhouette moving like a storm, learning to be calm. Said, "I have silence. It just sleeps better now." Be me. 43, married, quiet, surrounded by trees and paint. Some nights we sit on the porch and say nothing. Just sip tea and watch the sky bruise into stars. And it hits me. I don't miss the road, because she became the destination, and I finally stopped driving.